Hello guys, I proudly welcome you to this quick tech Microsoft Access database tutorial brought to you by Akos Data Techs. My name is Akos Myla. Guys, in this video I'm going to share with you on how to create a database to handle your appointment bookings in your organization or your business. So for example, in this particular database system, you can see that on the home page here I have upcoming appointments. So I have all the upcoming appointments and it tells the number of days that appointment is actually due. So in here, if you have a lot of data, the status will actually be indicated by color. So yellow will mean that there's an upcoming appointment, green means that it's due, and overdue will be red. So here I can just click here to see the details of those people whose appointments are actually coming up and the number of days also. So if I want to book appointments, we come into the book appointment here. Now once we come to this side, you can see that here we can just do the bookings over here. So for instance, if let's say a client comes like Andy Goffred want to book appointment, we click new. Now once we click once we select, let's select Andy Goffred. Once we select Andy Goffred, we can book appointment. So what is the type of appointment? Let's say it's next review. Now we can click here to check whether, so you can see there's no upcoming appointment due on this particular date here. So what we have to do is now we just select the time, the active date. So let's say that the date is actually on the 27th, so we say 27th of the current month. Now once we're done with the dates, we can now click the save appointment, and it said that this book is successfully saved and sent to front ended. So once we refresh, you can see that it jumps right in here in Andy's booking. So now if you click check dates, you can see that there are other appointments on this particular date. So once you come here and we synchronize to move on to actually do your conditional formatting to assign colors to the status of each appointment. Okay guys, so I entreat you to patiently be with me so that this particular tutorial will be impactful. Okay, if you have not subscribed to this channel and you newbie on this particular channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the little bell notification icon so that each time that I upload a video you stand to be notified by YouTube, so that we can all learn together. So guys, we create appointment booking database in Microsoft Access. So we start by going to file on the backstage view. So now here we go to new, now blank database. Okay, so now here what we do here is that we give our database a name. So we say appointment database. So here we see appointment database. We can click here to browse the folder to choose where the database should be placed, but then I will just keep it in the document folder and I will hit create. Okay, so guys, now we are going to close this. So we start by creating the customers table. So we are going to need a customers table or our clients table. So we just collect some few information of our customers. So we go to create. Now once we come in here, we go to table design. So here we say customer ID. So that is an auto number because we're going to have a lot of customers, so let's just check them by auto numbering. Okay, so we say customer name, short text, and I will limit it to, let's say 50. Okay, so now let's say address also a short text. Let me limit it to also 50. Now what we take here is the phone number. So phone number is also a short text, so I will limit it to 15 here. Now also let us take so with the customer, gender is also very much important, so we say it's a lookup field. Now I will type in the options in the lookup myself. So we have male and then we have female. Okay, so now here I'll go to next, and then I will also choose to limit this particular items to the list. Okay, so there are quite a number of things that you can take. You can take the type of client, but then for the sake of this particular tutorial, we are not going to actually need a number of fields. These fields are actually okay for now. So guys, let us manage this couple of few fields here, but then in yours you can actually put in there any number of fields that you so desire depending on the purpose of your database. So I will click save here. Now I will say TBL customer, so customers. All right, now here we come. So we start by creating a form for this particular table here. So we go to create a form wizard. Now let us click to add everything. Next, so columnar is okay for us. Now here we say frm customers. So let us modify the forms design. Okay, so we are not going to do much on the form designing because the tutorial is basically not centered, or is not actually a purpose on teaching us how to design form. I have basic tutorials in Microsoft Access that teaches how to design forms. If you have not watched that, kindly check the playlist, and then you can find those videos, which I believe will be of help to you. Okay, so now here I will say customers. So let's say customers profile. Okay, so with the customer profile, let us enlarge it a bit. Now what we do here is we just change the color. Okay, now afterwards what we can do next is that here which sets the size to 12, what is appreciably okay. Now let us try. So right now if you open this very form, you can see that it occupies the entire area. So what we do next is that we just have to make it as small as possible. So guess what, we are going to make it a pop-up form. Okay, so now here we just have to activate it. Now pop-up, we set it to yes. Okay, so now that the pop-up is set to yes, you can see that the form now opens as just a tiny little form. Now we have the maximize and the minimize button also over here. So let us actually disable the maximize button, and to do that, what you do is that once you come in here under format, you can see minimum, max both enabled. So we just set it to only minimum. If you just want all of them, then you have to just activate both. Okay, like I said, you're not going to do much on the form design. Our interest is on how to engineer the system and then how to get it worked. I know that we all have different ways of designing our front ends, and you guys are actually good, I mean, with that. So now let us add a couple of buttons. So I'll add this button here. Now this button should help us add a new record. So we say add. Now we can click finish. So add new. Let me say add new. Okay, now let us also add the save. So we add a save button. Now this one I'll close it. We are not going to use a dialog. So here I will say save or submit. Alright, now let us add the delete button. So we add delete here. Okay, record operations delete. So we click here, now delete, finish. Okay, so in case you want to add pictures to your buttons, you can also do that. For instance, if I want to add a picture to delete, I will just select it. Now under format picture, I'll click here. Now once I click here, I'll set for delete. So you can see I have delete here, and I'll select. Now we come to the picture caption. So which position we want it to be. Caption should be at the right hand side. So we can do the same thing for the save button. We click here also. Now we have save. So this is save. You click, and now let us choose to set the captions to the right hand side. Okay, so guys, we are going to maintain these few buttons. Now let's right click here and add the code that will do the saving for us here. So we're going to do that with the aid of a simple VBA. So to add a code, we highlight the button, property sheet, you come to events. Now on click, you click here, code builder, and now we can say do cmd.refresh. So this is just a very simple VBA code. Control S to save, and now we can actually exit this one here. So let us add some couple of customers. Now the new customer, so let's say Evans Bentum, address, let's say Kasua. Now the phone, so let's say we enter some arbitrary phone number here. Now what is the gender? It's a male. Now we save. So this time around, if you come here and refresh, you can see that it jumps right in here. So let's click here too. So let's say Dufie Andy. So Dufie Andy, let's say Kumase Kote. Okay, now what's the phone? So please, the phone number that we actually entering here is actually fictitious. So then it's also a male. So let's save it. Now we can refresh. Let's add one more person. So let's say Sandra Adiza. Address is Kumase KNUST. What is the phone number? So let's say plus the phone number. Let's enter the phone numbers here. Now the gender, let's say gender is female, and we can now save and now refresh. So guys, we've now succeeded in getting our client here. Okay, So now the next thing is that we close the table and we're going to add another table. The second table will be the appointment type. So if customers are coming in for appointment, what is the type or the purpose? So appointment purpose table. So create table design. So now we say purpose ID. So this purpose ID will make it a short test for a reason that I will explain later to you guys. Okay, now so let's say purpose or type. So it's also a short test, but with this is going to be the code, the purpose ID or the purpose code. We're just going to use maximum of 5 digits, and now the purpose shouldn't actually exceed 25. Okay, all right. So now we can click here and then make it a primary key. We save it. Now we say TBL purposes. Okay, now we are here. So let's say the first one is INQ. The purpose is now inquiries. So let's say inquiry, someone that comes to make inquiry. So now let's say ACC. This one is account opening. Okay, so let's say this one too is BL. So that is BLP. That is balance payment. So now let's say this one is also CTR. Someone coming in, sorry, CTR. So someone coming in for contracts. So contracts and negotiation. Okay. So now let's say this one is also SHS, which will be, let's say, shares and bonds. So shares and bonds. All right, now guys, we are done. So we need to also create a form for this particular table also. So we go to create form wizard. Now we click in here, next. Now this should be a data sheet. Okay, so purposes. Now FRM appointment types form. So let us actually view the form to see how it looks. Okay, so this is how the data sheet actually looks like. So we can change that. There are some few couple things that we can actually do here. Change the background color. So we can change the background color to white here. Alternate color, you can also set it to white so that we don't have any alternating colors here. Now we can click here and then also increase the size to, let's say, 14 here. Okay, so now with this we can actually make it a pop-up form. So we can come in here and then pop-up, we set it to yes. Okay, so once we have the pop-up to yes, sorry, this is the data sheet, so let's open the data sheet view. Okay, so this is our data sheet now we have here. So this one will help us actually store our various appointment types. Okay, now there was something that I left pending to be explained. So if the data type over here, mind you, once we build the appointment table, we are now going to build the appointment table, the one that will actually store the daily appointment for us against the date. And mind you, every appointment we actually go into, every appointment record will be connected to appointment purpose table. Now if the time comes for you to actually write some sort of SQL queries where statement you had like to use let's say the account open the purpose types as criteria, since it's textual and if the primary data is actually kept auto number, then it means that each time that you want to write a where statement to, let's say, retrieve all appointments of a certain kind, then you will have to rather come and then reference them or reference the criteria by the appointment ID. But if it is left this way, then you can just write a simple, each time that you want to write a whereby statement in your SQL query to retrieve all appointments of certain types, you can just say where your purpose is equal to any of these guys over here. In that case, once you enter this, the system will be able to identify. But then if you keep the primary key as a short test, then it means that you got to, each time that you want to do this, is either you add all the tables in your query, which might make it complex, or the where statement you say purpose ID is equal to. So in that case, if you want to reference balance payment, you have to use the ID or the auto numbers. Okay, so guys, this one is good for us to this one is actually good for a start. So let's save this one here. Okay, so now the next thing is that we're going to create our parent table. So we are now going to create our parent table, which is our appointment table. Okay, so we go to create table design. Now we say booking ID. So this one will be an auto number because the records are going to accumulate daily, and the database will get bulky too. So it is hardly will you be able to track the numbering, manually. In this case, advisably, we just have to use it, leave it up to the system to decide. So now that we are here, now there's going to be relationships. We are going to build relationships, and the ball is in your court. Now we are going to just build a relationship by using the customer ID. We don't want to do reference in here, so we just want to build a relationship using the customer ID. So here we say customer ID. So mind you, when you go to customers table, the ID here is actually auto number, so the foreign key here should also be number. Okay, so now we can say what is the purpose of the appointment. So before then, let us say the activity date. So the activity date or time. Now activity time. So what time would the appointment be due? Date or time. Now we come here also, and now we can track the purpose. So what is the purpose of the appointment? Now mind you, we have all the purposes here, so there's going to be a lookup to pick the values from this side. So we are going to pick the values from this side, so that each time that we update a purpose here, it gets updated in appointment table also. So we click here, we go to lookup wizard. I will type in the values that I want. Sorry guys, sorry, we already have the table, so we are going to get it from that table. The first option chosen. Now TBA purposes. Okay, so now we choose to add a purpose or type. So let us sort by the purpose. So we have actually sorted from A to Z. Next. So let us actually enable data integrity. Restrict delete is fine now. Next. We save. So let us save this table. So we're going to say TBL bookings. Okay. So TBL bookings. Now here we say entry date. So what is the data entry date? So it's also an important variable to be tracked. So data entry date. Okay, date or time. Alright, so guys, we are good to actually go with this. Now for now, let us save it. Okay, now let us view this table and see something here. So you can see that we are good to actually go right here. Now the next thing that we do is that we build a relationship. So we have to save this. We go to database tools, relationships. Okay, so we add a table. Now we need a customers table, and then also we need the bookings table. So now that we are here, what we do already, sorry guys, the booking table is already here, so let us just build a relationship. So we click and then we drag up to the side. Enforce cascade update related records needs to be checked, so that each time that you update a record in the parent table, it will also be updated in the reference table. Now cascade deletes related records. If you check this one, it means that each time that you move a customer, even if by mistake or intentional, the associated bookings are going to be deleted from that particular table also. Is that something that you can actually bear or you wish to probably have in your system? If yes, then just check it. But for this tutorial, I'm going to leave it unchecked. So we hit create here. Now we can save. So we exit. Okay, so now that we are here, guys, we are going to build the appointment booking table. So we are going to build appointment booking table. But before we do that, let us go to the customers form, and then right in here we are going to actually do some couple of designing here. So now here, what we'll do here is that we are going to change this color here. Let's set it to my favorite color, which is blue. So today you've known my favorite color. So now today, let us click here. Now we should be able to search over here. So we click to add a combo box. So we add a combo box right here. Now once we add a combo box, we choose the third option, find a record of my phone based on the value I selected in my combo box. So we go to next. Now here we want a customer name, so we go to next. We go to next. So let us search. Now we go to finish. So let us click here. So drag it closer here. Okay, so now we are going to be searching our records using this guy. Okay, so now let us set the colors here. So 14 will be good for us to go for a start. Now that is okay. So we click here, we choose white. Now we click here, black is okay. So let us fill it with this particular color here. Okay guys, so Now I will actually enlarge these guys here. Now the next thing that we are going to do is that we do not want to see, because we already have the search, we do not want to see the navigation buttons. So this is the navigation buttons here. So you can see this option here, we don't want to have it here, so we just have to disable it here. So now we come here, navigation button, so we just set it to no. Now once you set it to no and you view, you can see still there's a gray bar here. So if you want to get rid of that gray bar, then the gray bar is showing because scrolls are enabled on the form, meanwhile the form doesn't actually open to scroll. So we set it to neither for now. Okay, so now our form looks a bit more improved, so we close. Now we are going to create the booking form. So we go to TBL booking, we go to create. Now for us to actually go faster, what we can do is that we can just make a duplicate of the customers table. So we just right click here, copy, Ctrl V to paste. Now you can say TBL bookings. Okay, so TBL bookings. Okay, so TBL bookings. Now we can just open, so you can see it's TBL booking, but then we just have to change the record source and then some of the stuffs in here. So we click here and then come to data and property sheets. Here you see the record source is still set to TBL customers. Meanwhile, we just want to use for TBL bookings, so we click here, we set it to TBL bookings. Now we save. So you can see that all this the data source here, because they are not actually what you don't have an existing one in the TBL booking table, we just have to select and delete all of them to avert the error from showing. So here we close this guy also here. Okay, so here let us close this guy, sorry. Now instead we say, just as we had in the demo that I showed you, so we say do schedules here. So here we instruct our users to do their schedules here, so we can just keep the size to 16 and now we set it to white here. Okay, so now here we can bold it. We're still going to actually keep these guys. So now the next thing that we do is that we add the fields. So format design, under contextual menu, add existing fields. Now we need a booking ID, customer ID, activity time, activity date, purpose. Now this there. Okay, so now that we have these guys, what we do next is that we push everything to the top here. Okay, so now we can actually enlarge them a bit. So you select these guys, size to widest. Okay, so now we come in here. Now we can click here. Okay, so this is where we are going to do our schedule. So let us actually change the colors a bit. So we click in our black, we click here. Now we set it to 12. Okay, so let me put columns here. Okay, so we put columns here. Okay guys, we put our columns also here. Okay, so now that we are here, so let us view, and you can see that we have our appointment or do schedules form created. So if you go to new and then we can double click here, let's change the caption. So here you could see that when we view the form, so it shows FRM customers because we had it copied. So we just click caption and we say appointment bookings or appointments. Okay, so guys, now we are here. So the next thing that we do here is that we come to the FRM customers table. Now we enlarge it a bit because we are going to insert this TBL bookings form here. So let us change the name, right click, rename. So it's supposed to be FRM bookings. So we set the name to FRM bookings. Now we are going to put it over here as a subform. So it's just a matter of you dragging and dropping here. Okay, so now right now that we have it here, what we do next is that we are going to actually link it to the parent table. So we are going to link it to the parent table. So we come to the data. Now here you can see it is automatically linked customer ID, which is exactly what we want to do. Now that you've been able to do this, inside the subform customer ID, you highlight or select it, property sheet of it, do not enable it, and then also lock it so that users wouldn't be able to actually edit that part. Then booking IDs, actually all auto IDs need to be disabled so that our customers wouldn't actually be tampering with that customer ID to save. Okay, so now this time around, if I come in here, let's view the form and see. So you can see here that users have no chance to edit these guys here. So now as soon as you select a customer, the ID pops up here. So every booking that you do here will go in the name of this very customer. So for instance, Dufie Andy, let's say the activity days is actually going to be on the 21st of this month. And what is the time? So let's say the time is going to be 10:30 a.m. Now what is the purpose? So the purpose is going to be contract or negotiations. So what is the date entry? So let's say it's today. Now we can save. So once we go to TBL bookings, you can see now it has actually popped up neatly here. So let us add one more appointment for this same person. So if you open this same person, you want to add appointment, go to add new. Now what's sorry guys, sorry. So let us close it and then open the FRM customers. Let us actually enable the navigation buttons there so that when we make an error, we can actually go back. So for now, we'll set it the navigation. Let us bring it back, guys. But then when you're done, you can just disable it in yours, depending on how, because you see when I click new, assuming it's a mistake, I should just be able to click here and come back. Okay, or you can equally disable the navigation button and then add a back button or a backward button here. So now if you want to add a customer, you add a customer here. Do you get it? You just add a customer here. So let's say I want to add a new customer. I'll just click here. So let's say Frederick Esiama. Address is Bodiase Castillo. Now what is the phone? I will not enter it here. So what is the gender? Let's say male. I will save it. So now you can see that I am actually ready to book appointment for Frederick. So let's say his appointment date is going to be on the 29th and the time is going to be 12 o'clock p.m. What is the purpose? So here the purpose is going to be inquiry and the date is going to be today. So I can save it and then submit. So if I want to book another appointment for, let's say, Sandra, I'll just come here, activity date. So let's say this activity date is going to be July 12th. Now what is the time? So it's 3 o'clock p.m. Now what is the purpose? So let's say contract negotiation and the entry date is actually today. Now we cannot repeatedly be typing the entry date, so we'll actually go and set a default value for it. But now let us refresh to see our data popping up. So you can see our data gets populated in the table. So let us set a default value for these guys, which is a due entry date, data entry date. So the data entry date, we don't want our users to change it, so enable, we set it to no, log is yes, and then also data tab, default value is going to be date. So this date function returns the current system date. So now let us open our appointment. So let's say Evans Bentum, activity date, let's say is 30th, time, let's say the time let's say is 1 o'clock p.m. Now what is the purpose? So let's say the purpose is shares and bonds. You can see that the date entry has actually come automatically. So now with this one, the relationship that we've created, so let's view the relationship that has been created. So database tools relationship. Now the relationship between booking and customers, if we look at it from customers to the booking side, then it's going to be a one-to-many. If we're also looking at it for the TBL bookings to customers, it's going to be many to one. So it means that we are actually at liberty to add a lot of bookings for one particular customer. So that is the relationship that we've actually built so far. So you're booking here, for example. Now let's say that this customer here has one appointment. So if you want to add another one, then you come and click you come and click add new once the customer is selected, and then you just hit activity date. So let's say August 9th, time, so time is going to be 12 00 p.m. And now what is the purpose? So this is the purpose. You submit. Now once you come here, refresh, you are good to go. The next thing that we have to do is that now we are going to change the name of our FRM customers and change it to bookings main, because it's already we have the booking form embedded over here as a subform. Then also we will actually display a data sheet here that will show every customer's appointment and then the upcoming status. So let's close this guy. Now our first task, right click here, rename, we say FRM bookings main. Okay, so FRM bookings main. All right, so now we are going to create a query. Now this query we are going to build is supposed to tell us the number of days that is left for an appointment to be due, and then also the status of it, whether it's past, upcoming, or it's actually a cancelled appointment. So go to query design. Now let us add customer and then bookings. Okay, so here we'll add everything from the bookings table. Now what we add here is a customer name. We can add a gender. So we run. All right, so now the next thing that we'll do is that we save this query, right click save. Now we say QRY bookings. So guys, the next thing we'll do here is that we set the countdown. So here we say countdown. Before then, right click here, build here. Now you say countdown. So countdown dates diff. Now dates diff, here we are counting days. Now today's date, the difference between the number of days between today's dates and then the TBL bookings dot activity dates. So this code or this particular query expression should give us the number of days left for appointment to be due. Once we run, now you can see one has 12, one has 52, one has 3. So let us actually sort this record. So we go to design view. Now we sort it from ascending order. So those whose are actually almost due will show up first. So now let us actually add one more column to tell us the status. So we come in here, build, and now what we can do here is that we say status. So we say if our countdown, so if our countdown, if it is greater than 0, then we say upcoming or coming up. So we say upcoming. Upcoming is fine, guys. Upcoming. So now if it is, so if our countdown is equal to 0, then we say that due. Other than that, then it's going to be overdue. Okay, so here is due, and then overdue, and then we close this, close this, close this. We are good to go, guys. So now let us run it here. So we have upcoming, 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 as you can see. So now the next thing that we do, probably the final part of it, is that to create a data sheet. So we go to create form wizard. Now we need a booking ID, we need a customer ID, we need a customer name. Now we need the activity date, time, purpose. Now we need a countdown and the status. So to make the form look so simple, we'll just do away with the customer ID. Now go to next. This is a data sheet next. So we say that FRM booking sheets. Now let us open a form to view or enter information. Okay, so let me minimize this guy small. Now the next thing we do is that alternate color, we set it to white here. We select everything here. The color, we set it to 12. And now we can actually enlarge these guys a bit. So guys, let us set a conditional formatting. So you highlight this, right click, now go to conditional formatting. So new row. Now if the value is equal to upcoming, then we are going to fill it with yellow. Then we hit OK. Now new row, if it is equal to due, then due should be a green color, we click here, we make it white. Okay, so guys, we apply. If it is past 2, we go to new. If it is equal to overdue, then we fill it with red color. Now the color needs to be white. Okay, apply. Okay, so now you can see, guys, here. So for example, let's say that we change this activity date here to today and we refresh. You can see that it shows here that it's due. Okay, guys, so now the next thing that we do is that we have to count the number of every customer's appointment. So we go to create, sorry guys, home, total. Now here we can count. So let's do away with the new. This form is not meant for data entry, so we go to new, design view. Why am I making mistakes, guys? Sorry. So we click here. Now data, allow additions. We set it to no. Yeah, we should be able to delete and we should be able to edit as well. So now the final thing that we do is that we come to frmbooking main. Let me bring the maximize button once more. We will need it here. So maximize both enabled now here. Now the next thing we'll do here is that I'll just create a space, and inside this space I'll bring the booking sheet down here. Okay, so now that we have it here, you just have to enlarge it to occupy a larger space. Okay, so now once you do that, let me set the outline to transparent, and then the relationship is automatically built, which is exactly what we want to do. So now let us set the anchor. So before you can set the anchors, make sure you select. Now if you don't set the anchor, this is what will happen. Form view. So you can see here it shows everything, but then when you maximize, it doesn't actually occupy the entire window. Okay, so we go here again. Because you're going to set the anchoring, let me minimize this. Guy, and then horizontal anchor we set it to both, vertical anchor we set it to both. Now we can save, and then we can actually view the form. So guys, now you can see each time, let's say you want to book appointment for Frederick Esiama, so he has 1 appointment. So if you search for the person, so let's say I want to search for Dufie, I'll just type Dufie, and you can see Dufie's appointment will all show up. Let's say I want Adiza, I'll just type Adiza. So you search for a customer, you see all the upcoming appointments. So let's say you want to add one more for Adiza, So there's a difference between this over here. When you click add new, it adds a new customer, but then we want to add new here. So you can just take your time to do the labeling as well. So add new, what is activity date? So let's say that this activity is just actually on the 21st. So time, let's say it's 12 o'clock PM. So purpose, now let's say purpose is balance. So we can save. Now here you've saved, but still it has not popped up here. You have to come and then refresh here, and you can see that it pops up neatly here. So guys, this is how to come by and I believe this will be the end of today's tutorial. Now we've been able to create a booking database in Microsoft Access, so we shall put a link to this particular project. This is just a mini project, so feel free to actually edit it in any way that you want, modify it to look just like the way that you want. If you need any other extra help, find in the description of this video my contact. You can just contact me and we can have a further discussion here. I believe this one will be of much help. If you have loved it, kindly give me a thumbs up, and then also subscribe, and then also put a comment down there. Guys, we look forward to actually modifying the database going forward. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye.